So I'm going to record some drills and exercises for handstands. I'm not going to film the whole lot and kind of do it follow me along video. It's more going to be a description of the exercises. You can see me performing them, and then it's a case of kind of pausing the screen and doing them. It will be sets and reps based. We'll start off by warming up the wrists and the shoulders. This bit you can do along with me. So to start off with, we'll just warm up the wrists. We'll do small circular motions of the wrists. Once you become familiar with these exercises, it would be a case of just kind of screenshotting the exercises and doing it in your own time. But until then, feel free to just follow along. So wrist movements. And then kind of warming up into the wrists and the elbows a little, taking movements here. And then we can start to take bigger movements of the wrists, shoulders, elbows, and you can almost take more of a movement into the spine too. And then maybe taking circles going in the other direction. And then starting to take big circles into the shoulders. Think biceps up by the ears as we come up high. And circles going in the other direction. Bloody couch next to me. Shake it off a little. Coming into tabletop. We're going to start off with cat-cow. Cat-cow is quite important just to get used to the posterior pelvic tilt. So when we start, cat pose for instance, we're in a posterior pelvic tilt. Pelvis is tucking under, belly button draws in. And this is a position we want to be in handstands, or any inversion for that instance, like headstand, forearm stand, tripod headstand. And then anterior pelvic tilt, we're sticking the booty out, we're opening into the body. So this would basically be kind of banana in your handstand, which is not what we want. We want to tuck the pelvis under, draw belly button in, push the floor away. So we'd aim for about maybe 5 to 10 cat-cow, just getting used to this posterior pelvic tilt. And then here, we'll take it into puppy pose, walking the hands forwards, taking more of an active puppy pose, fingertips to the floor. Opening into the body, so anterior pelvic tilt again, and then posterior pelvic tilt, tucking under, draw rib cage in. Open and close. Open and close. So here, this is kind of handstand alignment, but it's also opening into the lats. Here, more relaxed. Anterior pelvic tilt, more opening into the thoracic spine and shoulders. From here, we'd come into tabletop once more. Sand everywhere over my mat. And then we'd go back into that cat pose, push. Coming into a modified plank, knees lift. We're still trying to maintain this roundness in the body, this posterior pelvic tilt, belly button drawing in, pushing the floor away, shoulder blades away from each other. So holding this for around 15 to 30 seconds, and then pushing up into down dog. Now in down dog, coming from a yogic background, we'd have shoulders away from the ears, maybe a slight bend into the elbows, pushing the floor away. Handstands, we want them shoulders up by the ears. We want to have straight arms, pushing the floor away. Push, push, push. Pelvis tucks under, belly button draws in, rib cage drawing in. Let's go for a few hops. Bend into the knees, trying to get toes over. So maybe here, trying to stack hands, shoulders and hips as you kick, or maybe just come in here. So we're going to take 10 reps, bending into the knees, straight arms pushing the floor away. Tap. Slowly lower down. Tap. Slowly lower down. If you can catch air, all good. If not, keep it here. Take a little breather after you've done one set of that. Aim for 3 sets total, and then move on. For our next exercises, we're just going to do 2 here. We're going to go down dog to high plank, down dog to high plank. And then when we're in down dog, elevated, which basically we're trying to set up for handstands. So we're trying to have hands. So imagine here, hands to the floor, shoulders, and then hips, and the feet will be on the chair. We're going to go for 5 reps of taking it out into a gymnastic style plank, which is pushing the floor away, pelvis tucks under. that handstand alignment. Then we're going to walk it back in, hands, shoulders, hips. All sorts of stuff flying about out here. All right, so first of all, setting yourself up on the floor. Doesn't matter how high your elevated platform is. We're going to go into cat pose, round. Step the feet on your couch, your chair, whatever, pelvis tucks under, push, push, push the floor away. From here, we're going to walk it in, stacking the hands, shoulders, and hips, shoulders up by the ears. Try to be high up on your toes and light on your toes. We're going to aim for 5 reps of just walking out and then walking back. Once you've done your 5 reps, we're going to take one leg up towards the ceiling. Now here you want to square the hips off. As I take the foot up, the hips are going to want to open. I want to draw the left thigh bone into the left hip, right hip down. Push the floor away, squeeze the right butt cheek. And then here, just a gentle hop and kick up. Maybe hold your handstand. Maybe just bend into the knees and just practice hopping up and hop. If when you're on the floor and you find it hard to get up, having your foot elevated will make it easier. But the only thing is that you need to control it once you're up there, because it can be scary feeling like you're going to fall out. You need to just get used to cartwheeling out one side or the other. From there, we're going to go into a 4-point stretch using the wall. And then going to go into kicking up into the wall, holding handstand, and then we're just going to finish with a hamstring stretch. So to start off with, coming over to ideally a flat wall. Here I haven't got a flat wall, but it will still work. So we're going to bring the heels together, hips, the bum pushing back to the wall. Now I'm going to try to draw my rib cage in and push my back into the wall. So trying to keep this tight trunk. I'm trying to not flare the rib cage out as I take the thumbs up overhead. Trying to keep this drawing in. It's really tight abs. Belly button draws in, thumbs facing up. We're going to take the thumbs up overhead and we're going to try to bring the thumbs to the wall behind us. Now in doing this, you might find that the rib cage flares out. If you're a bit over or tighter into the shoulders, you will definitely flare out. So what we're going to try to do, you can do this over the course of a minute. Draw abs in, thumbs up overhead. Try to get the thumbs touching the wall. Don't worry so much if the rib cage flares out, that's all good. Then try to push back into the wall. Thumbs might come off. Then again, try to draw the thumbs back, keeping tight trunk. If you flare a little bit, all good. Pull back in, thumbs may come off again. And it's that constant battle of trying to keep the thumbs back whilst pushing the hands towards the ceiling, shoulders up by the ears, and push back, trying to keep this tight trunk. From there, again, try to do that over the course of a minute. You should feel like the shoulders are super fired up, and also your trunk. You can take a bit of a breather, maybe 30 seconds, then turning around, kicking up into the wall, about maybe a hand's distance away from the wall. I'm a bit lopsided here. I've got this chair, I've got all sorts going on. So I'm a little bit maybe further away than I'd like to be. I'm going to kick up. Both feet against the wall. As you can see here, I've got pretty much an arched back. I'm going to start from the floor up. Fingertips are gripping the floor. I'm going to push the floor away, shoulders are going to come up by my ears. Rib cage is going to draw in, obviously going to tuck under. I'm going to squeeze my bum, point the toes, and then might feel like that you could press into the fingertips. Maybe the heels come off the wall. Maybe they don't. Maybe you just keep the heels on the wall and you just practice this straight line. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. There, anywhere from like 20 to 30 seconds would be really good. If you feel like the heels come off by a millimeter, work that. Don't force the feet off. You force them off, they're going to fall. Third exercise, working hamstring flexibility. Bring the heels and the bum to the wall like we did. Bricks underneath the hands if you're a bit tighter in the hamstrings. Slowly make your way to the floor. Try to get the heels and the bum pushing against the wall. Hands to the floor, push bum back, push bum back, push bum back. Again, it'd be easier to have hands on bricks if you're a bit tighter in the hamstrings. Aiming to hold this for about a minute, maybe 90 seconds. By all means, stay there for 3 minutes if you want. Last superset we're going to do, kicking up into the wall, working on scissor handstand, and then finishing with crab reach back, which is a shoulder and hip opener. So here, again, I'm a bit closed off, but what we can do, maybe a hand's distance, maybe a couple of hands, or you could do this in the center of the room, no wall. If you're quite comfortable with the wall or you prefer to use the wall, feel free to use it. Maybe just come a little bit further away so you've got a little bit more room to kind of practice holding it without using the wall. Otherwise, what we can do, we could kick up freestanding, or if you're using the wall, big kick up, even bigger than that. Get one foot on, other leg off. Now here, I'm in a bit of a crap position, but if I work that alignment, push the floor away, rib cage draws in, pelvis tucks under. So even just doing that, my back heel wants to float off. I don't even have to do anything. And you can work here, scissor legs, and hold that for as long as feels comfortable. Practice 5 to 10 each side, and then take rest, go into the other side. Coming into crab reach backs, feet to the floor, hands behind you, push hands into the floor, open across the chest, slight anterior pelvic tilt, booty sticking out, bum cheeks about an inch or 2 away from the mat. We'll take the right fingertips inside of the heels. We'll then lift the hips, thighs drawing apart from each other, reach up and back, look towards the thumbs on the floor, hips up, the arm is up in the air, the bicep is behind the ear, we're looking towards the floor, come back down, push it all the way back up, come back down, push it all the way back up. Do each side, and then you're done.